Here we go again.
Welcome to the Silverfox Hustle Podcast. This is episode number 23. This podcast keeps on going and we keep on hustling. Now, I hope to reach out to as many listeners as possible and also new listeners as well. So don't forget to click on the subscribe or follow button on your podcast platforms and also share it with your friends. Now, my guest today is an example of why this podcast exists in the first place. Now, you don't need to be a rock star, a celebrity, or anyone for that matter. If you have an inspiring story to tell, then you are my guest. Now, speaking of guest, my guest today is a graduate of the Institute of Technical Education, and to be precise, ITE College West, and I'm so proud to say that. Now, he received a technical diploma in culinary arts and Bachelors Degree in Gastronomy and Restaurant Management from the Institute of Paul Bocuse, Lyon, France. Now, safe to say, my guest is an out-and-out foodie because he has always been in the food or restaurant industry. Now, the Hilton Singapore, Shangri-La Sentosa, Swiss Hotel, the Stanford, and Terra Tokyo Italian are the few places where he has been as a cook or a chef, or he has worked there. Now, cooking for events like the F1 in 2009 and the Barclays Singapore Open, some of the things that he has been or he has worked for those events. Now, he also competed at Food Hotel Malaysia Competition at Kuala Lumpur and at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre to be exact, and taking home the silver and gold awards. We'll speak about that later on. My guest is also the winner of the Cleo Bachelor Competition in 2019, and we'll talk to him about that as well. Now, he was the owner and founder of Burks by Project Warung, and currently he is also the owner and founder of Ashes Burn It. Now, welcome to the Silverfox Hustle Podcast, Mr. Syafiq Lee.
Thank you, Sashi. It's good to be here.
It is an honor, and like I said at the beginning, right, Syafiq, you are here because one of the reasons why you're here is not because you're a celebrity, okay, which I think you are going to be soon. Just judging from Facebook posts and what you've been doing with Ashes Burn It, you will be a celebrity very, very soon. But it is about the ups and downs, right? The ups, where you came from, where you studied, obviously at ITE, and obviously the failures that you had, right? And then rising above that, and that is why you are here, Syafiq. And I'm just looking at what you've done all your life, right? Now,
Very interesting.
it has always been about food, right?
Yep.
How come? What are your influences? How did you come to love the industry in the first place?
In the first place, food wasn't in the picture.
Alright.
The food wasn't in the picture. Back then, when we were in, I'm in secondary school or in primary school.
Yeah.
All of us love football.
Yes.
We call it soccer.
Right.
Wanted to play football hopefully as a career in the near future.
Okay.
But I know I wasn't good at it.
Really?
I wasn't good at it.
Okay.
So, of course, stopped playing back in secondary school.
Okay.
And just to focus on studies.
Really?
Alright.
You stopped completely, like not playing football at all?
Yeah, just more on social football, like
Right.
weekend football every
Okay.
Sunday. So just to have fun, keep fit.
Yeah.
But of course, moving forward, I didn't know that I would be in the food industry.
Okay.
Right. So I started off, helping my aunt.
Okay.
Back then in one of the canteens in Tuas.
Okay.
Yep. So
Okay.
I started back in primary school
I see.
when I was in primary 5, primary 6.
I see.
Yeah. So just working, helping my aunt.
Right.
So I think maybe that's where the interest started from.
Okay. So what do you do at the stall? Like did you cut onions or stuff like that?
So basically, the first time I did was to actually fry an egg.
Okay.
Yeah, a sunny side up egg.
Yes.
So that was my first cooking lesson, was to cook an egg.
Right.
Yeah, at a very young age.
Yeah.
Then from there on, I started to learn how to cook fried rice and so on.
Right.
Yeah, that's where I actually started my food journey.
Right. How about immediate family, like mom and dad, and how were they?
Surprisingly, apart from my aunt, none of my family members are in the F&B industry.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But tracking back what I heard from my dad was my grandfather,
I see.
my Chinese side, my Chinese
Okay.
family.
Okay.
As you know, I'm mixed,
Yeah.
half Chinese, half
Yeah.
Malay.
Yeah.
So my dad, his father was actually a chef.
Ah.
So
Okay.
he was a cook
Okay. Here in Singapore.
here in Singapore.
Right. Right.
So he used to work in those catering business
Okay.
back then in where Changi prison used to be
Yes.
right now.
Yes.
So I think
Right.
I don't want to say maybe it's a bloodline or
Okay.
something, but
Okay. Okay.
maybe I got it from my grandfather.
Yeah. It could be, but it's safe to say that you are flying the family flag at the moment because you're the only one at the moment, right?
Yep,
In the
at the
food
moment.
business and doing pretty well. So congratulations for that. Now, how were you in school as a kid? Like, did you do well in studies, or what kind of a student were you before?
I wouldn't say that I know I'm a bad student or a good
Right.
student. I would say I'm roughly
An
in
average.
between.
Yeah.
Average in between.
Right.
Not doing so well in my academics.
Okay. Okay.
Barely there.
Okay.
The surprising thing is during primary 1 and primary 2,
Yeah.
I took up Chinese.
Ah. Okay.
So, Sachin, guess how much I got for my prelims and, my exams? I got 2.100.
Seriously. What is this? This is for primary school.
Primary school. So can you imagine at an early age,
Yeah.
I've already failing my exams, I'm
But
already-
that's only for second language, isn't it?
Yes, for my second language. So the funny thing is I told my dad, I told my parents, I said, I had enough. I had enough of Chinese.
Okay.
So I wanted to actually change it to Malay.
All right.
So it's much more easier
Okay.
because it's in words rather
Yes.
than in strokes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So that's where I started to change, then adapt, and at the same time finally got a pass for my mother tongue.
Okay.
So
Okay,
that
I
was
understand.
my first. Yeah.
No, listen, I understand about the difficulty part because not many people will know, but most of my friends will know. But I took Malay in primary school and secondary school, and it was very, very much easier than
Yes.
Tamil or Mandarin,
Yeah,
like you said, right?
definitely,
It's
yeah.
the strokes and stuff. So
Yeah.
because it's normal alphabets.
Yes.
Right, so it's easier. So I can understand where you're coming from, but and well done to you to actually make the change because it's not easy, like I said,
Yeah.
right? Now just looking at your past in school and your NS days as well, right? Your working experience as well. You have always come across as somebody who has a goal in mind, for example, in 2 or 3 years or what have you, and then making those effort to actually go through the processes and to get that, to achieve that goal or target. Am I right to say that?
I always try to do my best.
Right.
Trying to prove, trying to prove people wrong one
Okay.
way or another as well.
Okay.
And of course, as an individual as well, I've had a lot of failures in my life.
Okay.
Being rejected as well.
Okay.
So, as mentioned, I was part of the Institute of Paul Bocuse
Yes.
diploma program.
Right.
Yep, you had to go through an interview to actually
Okay.
enter the course, and they only can actually choose 20 students.
Okay.
So being the pioneer batch, they will always choose the best of the best.
Okay.
All right. Surprisingly, I mean, one way or another, I didn't got into the course
Okay.
in the first place.
Okay. You got
Or
rejected.
I got rejected.
Okay.
Went through the interview, and I thought, I could have gotten into the course due to the
Yeah.
attitude-wise and
Yeah.
everything, but didn't got it.
Okay.
And I was sad, and I was looking.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it's time for me to go to NS.
Ah. Okay.
And after a few weeks, I got a call from the school.
Right.
2 weeks before the course started,
Yeah.
they told me that I got into the course.
Wow. So that is kind of the rejection part made you always want to,
Yeah,
strive and try to.
yeah, because I wasn't good in academics,
Okay.
right? But I know that I'm good at learning stuff practically
Okay.
and adapting to situation.
Right.
So I use that as an asset for myself to push further.
Okay.
To prove people wrong.
Right.
If let's say I'm not good in academics, of course, we bring
Yeah.
in the extra hours to study
Of course.
and pursue on.
Yeah.
So at the early stage, I've already felt rejected.
Yeah.
So to feel rejected at early stage, I know I have to be very, very strong.
I see. I see.
So I feel that is where it all started off.
I see. I see.
Then as my career goes on and on, it actually builds on from there.
I see.
Yeah.
It's I think that rejection does that to you in a way. It could also work the other way as well for some people, right?
Yep.
Being rejected and then you're so down and
Mhm.
low and the lowest point of your life, and then it could go south, right? But in
Mhm.
your case, I think you've used that rejection to in a positive way, to go forward. Absolutely brilliant. Now that's a good seg to actually the next part of our conversation, right? The ITE, the Institute of Technical Education, and just for listeners out there now, the ITE, the Institute of Technical Education, there's 3 campuses, right? There are 3 main campuses, and they are College Central,
Yep.
which is in Ang Mo Kio, and of course that's where the HQ is. College East, where it's at Simei, where I'm working at, and of course at College West, where you went to, right?
Yes.
And that's in Chua Chu Kang, I believe,
Mhm.
right? Now those are the 3 main campuses, and you went to College West. Now, I'm so proud to say this, right? That you're an alumni of IT because I'm working there. I'm a little bit biased, right? And I watched the clip on Royal Singapore, right? And you said something to dispel the myth about the acronym ITE.
Yep.
Tell us about first what that acronym is, right? And what it stands for rather, and tell me about that.
The myth of this is, it goes back all the way till, older generations and
Right.
everything.
Even when you were studying, right?
Yes, even when I was studying,
Yeah.
ITE,
Yes.
what it meant is, it's the end.
Okay.
Everybody will say, it's the end for you, and you got no career, no path, nobody's gonna hire you,
Yeah.
you got no education.
Yeah.
That's where all the rejects usually goes.
Okay.
Because back then, those students who weren't doing very, very well were in ITE.
Yeah.
So I believe right now really that a lot of students, everyone, not including myself, we have all done our part to actually make ITE a better place for future generations to learn in.
Yep.
And at the same time build a career from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, it was I mean the acronym, the unwanted meaning, which is it's the end. You had that a lot when you started out, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, I think before that you went to IT Clementi and then went on to College West. But how about friends and family members and stuff like that? What were their thinking then when you went or enrolled into IT?
Not even myself, we can say about a lot of students, they would actually be ashamed of when they say that, where are you studying at? I'm
Right.
studying in IT. I mean, back then.
Yeah.
Right now, everybody is more confident. I'm just studying IT College
Yes,
West,
yeah.
East.
Yes.
But back then, saying that you are studying IT is so hard.
So you felt that?
I felt that, you,
Okay.
let's say you go meeting, you have your family gatherings
yes.
with your aunt,
Yes.
your uncles.
Yeah.
Going there, everybody say, oh, I'm studying at this polytechnic, I'm studying at this university.
Yeah.
Then you go in there and say, I'm just studying in IT.
Okay.
That feels like, one of your lowest point,
Yeah.
as in terms of academic wise level. Everybody is like, oh, like example in secondary school.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in the express stream.
Yeah.
I'm in a normal acad stream. You wouldn't say that you are in a normal tech stream.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be proudly say, I'm in a normal tech stream. Even if, let's say, you are one of the top students in the normal tech stream, people will say, you're just in normal tech.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being in the top students is so easy.
Yeah.
Everybody, they've been through that.
Yes.
So, what I'm trying to do here, one way or another, is to actually, my own personal dream is to actually change that.
Yeah.
Everyone who actually graduates from IT or who has been in
Yeah.
IT before can actually proudly say that I was from IT.
Yeah.
That is where I actually built my career, my path to succeed.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I think that's a wonderful story as well, right? And you have done it. You are obviously one example of the many, right, who have made it from ITE, who graduated from ITE, and then to those of you who are who have made it, congratulations to you. I think you're a shining light. You're a perfect example. You included, Syafiq, and of course for those of you who are still studying at ITE or even thinking of getting or enrolling into a course, don't be ashamed of it, right? Because at the end of the day, do what you like, right?
Yep.
Because that's one of the most important thing as well. But also excel. You can also excel in IT and then move on from there. So I think it's not the end, people, right? It's an absolutely wonderful opportunity as well for you guys. Now, you enrolled in College West, with or not with, as in for this course, culinary arts, right? Technical diploma in culinary arts, and then of course you moved on, right? Now you said you were rejected. Did you know why you were rejected in the first place?
Yeah, one way or another, because I didn't have the minimum GPA that they stated there.
What was you were the pioneer batch,
Yeah,
right?
we were the pioneer batch. I mean, at first they say that apart from academic wise, they are more looking into character.
Okay.
They want someone who is determined, who's willing to change, like, because it's a big step from a NITEC level, and to jump all the way to a diploma level. You skip one step, which is the higher NITEC.
Right.
Is it?
Right.
So they wanted to find people with the right character to take that big jump.
Yeah.
So it's not easy. So I thought I could actually prove them wrong.
Right.
With my character,
Great.
in terms of changing on how I can actually improve while moving forward.
Yeah.
So I didn't hit that minimum GPA one way or another.
Okay.
And apart from that, they didn't tell me what are the other reasons that I got rejected. So I was down. But I mean, God has better plans.
Okay.
So 2 weeks before, like I mentioned,
Yeah.
then I got the news. Then, of course, that's where the turning point is.
Yeah.
To really prove the people wrong that you didn't make the wrong choice of choosing me in the first place.
Yes.
And
And you got the position also because somebody dropped out.
Yep. I was lucky because someone dropped out, maybe due to NS or something.
Right.
So,
wow.
Like I mentioned, I was really, really very lucky to actually be in it.
Yeah.
So I was very thankful, from since the first day all the way till I graduated. I was very, very thankful with, all the lecturers.
Yeah.
As well.
And that was definitely, like you said, right? It is definitely a turning point, right, in your life, because I don't think you'd be where you are today, without that chance, because I think you probably have got enrolled, or not enrolled, enlisted in NS and what have you after that, right?
Yeah.
And that, I think you have grabbed that opportunity brilliantly, Syafiq, and I think that's a wonderful thing as well. And in a funny way, thank you to that person who dropped out.
Yeah.
Right. Your experience doing the diploma, right, and the degree as well. How was that? And tell us about the degree and from which from which institution.
So, basically, the degree is from the Institute of Paul Bocuse in Lyon, in France.
Right.
So everybody working in the hospitality industry in the F&B world, basically,
right,
they would know Paul Bocuse.
Okay.
Because he is one of the god-founders of the cuisines, basically.
Yep.
The French cuisine.
Yep.
So in Singapore, of course, generally we will just say, oh, it's Western cuisine.
Right.
Western cuisine. Typically, people will think Western cuisine is just your fish and chips, your chicken
Yeah.
chop.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's our local Western food. But
Right.
if you talk about more of the gourmet kind
Okay.
of cuisines, it's
Yeah.
more of like the French cuisine. You got the Italian
Yes.
cuisines,
Yes.
Spanish,
Yeah.
and so on. The Nordic cuisine as well.
Right.
So there's a lot of in-depth. If I'm going to carry on with you, Sashi, it's going to be a long.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lesson for me as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because I know nuts about this aspect and okay, just very quickly. So you did a 2-year technical diploma first,
Yeah, 2.5 years.
2.5 years, and then you moved on to the degree course, right?
No.
No.
Gotta cut you short there. No.
Right.
So basically, this course is something special.
Okay.
You know, that is why they only choose every year 20 students
For the technical diploma.
for the technical
Okay.
diploma. Because upon graduation,
Right.
you'll be actually getting two certs.
Okay.
One is the technical diploma in
Okay.
Singapore. Then you'll be getting another,
Yeah.
which is the associate degree, the bachelor's degree
Okay.
from France.
Okay.
It's because IT is collaborating with the Institute of Paul Bocuse in France
Understand.
to do up this program.
Okay.
So, you know the academics in Singapore is very high.
Okay.
So the standards that we have in Singapore,
Yeah.
comparing to Europe,
Yeah.
so it's almost a degree level.
Understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we are studying is actually in Europe is on a
It's
degree
equivalent.
level.
Oh,
Yes,
I see.
yes.
So that's how you got that bachelor's degree as well.
Can you imagine we had, I think 52 or 58 modules that we need to complete
During that 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
I see.
So I think it's more than what you have in polytechnics as well.
Yes.
Definitely, yes.
Wow. And so you only did French cuisine for that degree part, as in yeah.
Specifically, yep, French cuisine.
Yeah.
Of course, there's more in depth into it because studying from NITEC,
Yeah.
we learn a lot of cuisines like doing Italian, doing French, but very very little about the history of French cuisine.
Right.
So when we enroll into this course, they teach more in depth of what French cuisine, French culture is. And
I see.
everything. Yeah.
I see. So you're an expert now. Wow. Right. Tell me your experience in IT during this whole course. How was it like? Was it difficult? I'm sure it was.
It was one of the toughest journey I had in school, basically my
Right.
school life,
Okay.
because of course being the pioneer batch is always a crash course.
Okay.
Everything is new, even
Yes,
for the
yes.
lectures as
Correct,
well.
correct.
Everything is new.
Yep.
So we had, for ourselves and for the students,
Yeah.
my my classmates, and for the lecturers as well, it's both a learning lesson for us,
Right.
for the lecturers to continue to improve for the future batch.
Yeah.
Because it's a trial and error.
Yeah.
And for us to actually, whatever is thrown at us, is we just have to bang those walls and
Right.
break it down and move forward.
Were they hard on you?
Very very hard. We had the exact same scenario as what restaurant industry is
Okay.
outside.
Okay.
They brought it back to what
I see.
in IT.
I see.
So what people are actually looking, I just like to emphasize on the new generations right
Okay.
now. Why suddenly there's a lot of people who wants to be a chef.
It's by watching your Ramses and your
Because of all these celebrity chefs,
right
they are changing those people who are,
perception.
they
Yeah.
are on, hey, being a chef is cool and everything, but
Right.
they don't know what the hard work is, from learning from ground zero,
Yeah.
all the way up into being a professional chef.
Yeah.
That hard work, it's, yeah, you've never been through it.
Were these lecturers local lecturers or were they from?
Yeah. So some of our lecturers they are locally trained,
Okay.
and of course some of them they had overseas
Yeah.
experience as well. So
Yeah.
what they learned overseas
I
and
see.
in local context, they brought it back to IT. So
Yeah.
that is why I actually like the lecturers in IT,
Right.
because they experience it firsthand,
Yes.
and they bring whatever knowledge they have,
Right.
in their industry, back to school, and
Yeah.
we adapt to their city.
I think that is one of the major advantages of ITE, and of course
Mhm.
the polys as well.
Yes.
We talk about experience wise. The
Mhm.
lecturers have been out there
Yes.
in the working world. They know what it is like, and so when they come on in and they are teaching the students,
Mhm.
it's all about the world out there. It's not
Yeah.
your theory.
Theory-wise,
Yeah.
it's basically to prepare you for the real world outside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And probably that's why they've been drilling and
Yep.
even effing you in the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah, back of the scene.
yeah, of course. And are those lecturers still around? Do you know from College West?
Yes, some of them are still around.
Yeah.
Of course.
Any names?
Yeah, I had Chef Ben, Chef Eric. He was there before,
Yeah.
and then he left. I mean,
Right.
we are still in contact.
Okay,
Chef Jim, Zayf is now the section head of.
lovely.
There's a lot of lecturers that I want to thank. Of course,
Yes, yes,
they guide me through.
Yeah.
I am who I am today thanks to them as well.
Great.
And of course, the shout out to all my classmates as well.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. And any particular lecturer who really influenced you? Any like anyone or two?
Uh, Specifically, I got, you know, no names to actually say, but every lecturer actually plays a big role in my
Nice.
career, because they themselves, like I mentioned, they have been in industry.
Yes.
So what I learned from them is their own arts and craft, you know.
Right.
So I feel lucky to actually have them
Yeah.
as a student, because whatever they are good at,
Yes.
I adapt to it, and I credited with it. You know,
Yeah.
I brought it along.
Yes.
So
yes, yes.
I feel every lecturer actually plays a big role. Yeah.
Great. A big shout out to the lecturers at College West and IT in general as well. I think you guys have played a very big role in Syafiq Lee's success at the moment. So well done, Syafiq, and to the IT as well. Now, it's a good thing that you talked about the real life experiences, right?
Mhm.
So you brought it over because you need to be doing this whenever you're working.
Yeah.
Right. And you had experiences working at a few places, places like Hilton, Shangri-La, Swiss Hotel, of course. And was that part of your internship, or also part of after you graduated?
I started off working as a part-time,
Yeah.
you know, in Hilton Hotel, in Shangri-La,
Right.
doing events like F1,
Yeah.
the Barclays Golf.
Yes.
So those were the experience I took before I started my internship.
Right.
Back in the restaurants.
Right.
Then some of them were in the buffet line. Some
Right.
of them were in the restaurants where it's more of the fast pace.
Right. Right. Right.
So I feel starting at a young age, you know, where you had no commitments and everything, that's where we gain a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
Then of course, moving on, before you actually graduate from IT, any course, even from your NITEC or the technical diploma, you have to go through internships.
Right.
Without going through internships, you don't get your cert.
Correct.
So back then, inside my mind, it's like, okay, whatever else is in front of me, you got to go through.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Look down, move forward.
Yeah.
And
And-
complete it. Yeah.
Tell me about your experience. Was it what you expected, especially coming learning from the IT and then going into the real working world? Was it? Did you expect what you got?
I feel that I was 50% prepared
Right.
for the real world outside, because we already got the training back
Yes,
in IT.
yes.
You know, we got all the FAs.
Yes,
you know,
yes, yes.
So what is ahead is different, is because you're gonna face customers, the real world.
Ah,
So you're gonna get direct feedbacks from real
Correct.
customers, paying customers,
yes.
and of course at the same time you're gonna be working with the executive chefs, the chef de cuisines,
Yeah.
the one that is running the restaurants.
Yes.
So that's where, you know, the real world starts. Oh, yep, you got your Gordon Ramsay there.
Right. And no, seriously, my friend. I mean, I've watched obviously the celebrity chefs and stuff like that. But in the real world,
Mhm.
the restaurants, and you look at the main chefs in there,
Mhm.
they look pretty scary as well. Right, you know, and those under them, I wouldn't want to be in that position, right? You make a mistake, you're dead.
Yeah, to be honest, actually, like nowadays I feel that chefs are very lenient. They are more down,
Okay.
you know, because they adapt to the
Ah.
next generation. You know, like
Yes.
now, I don't know. I feel that right now we're a bit soft.
Okay.
Back then, well, even you're new or you are, you know, of a certain hierarchy
Yeah.
in the kitchen,
Yeah.
you get the drilling from the head chefs.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
You know, they always push you to the limit, working 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
You know, we start early in the morning. Can you imagine? And back then it was 6 days work week.
Yeah.
You only had 1 day off, and that 1 day off you'll be sleeping the whole day at home.
Wow. 16 hours is it's long because you only have what, another 8 hours.
Yeah. But then you have to, you know, deduct another 1 hour of your traveling, you know,
Yeah.
1 hour of going
Yes.
to work. So you might as well basically you're working 18 hours.
Wow. That's long hours. And
Very, very long.
you know, I gotta say this, and I gotta take my hat off to people who are in this industry, right? And
Yeah.
be it the restaurant business, or even a hawker or
Yeah.
whatever, in the food industry, food business. I gotta take my hat off to you, especially if you've been in this industry for a very, very, very long time. I don't think you have a life besides that working part, because you work, you wake up very early in the morning, preparations and stuff, and then you go to work, the cooking part, you go to work, you serve customers, and then at the end of the day, you come back with nothing left.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's where I feel that it gave me a platform
Okay.
of what I'm actually am right now.
Yeah.
Is, running your own business.
Yeah.
Running your own business is 24 hours.
You're right.
You're doing it yourself.
Yeah.
And back then, knowing it, I've already been working like 16 to 18 hours a day. So it actually sets the tone. Yeah, prepared for it. And of course, can you imagine those hawkers?
Yeah.
Our like grandparents, some of our
Yes.
grandparents, they are already at a certain age, but they are still doing it 16 hours a day, 18 hours a day. And we have younger generations now, they say, I'm too tired to do this, I'm doing this. But come on, guys.
Yeah.
If they can prove you that, standing in the hot environment, in a hawker, hawkers are very hot. It depends on the daily, temperature, daily weather.
Yes.
Sometimes it gets so hot, 34, 35 degrees.
Especially when you're inside, right?
Yes. When the stove are, on and everything, the heat, I tell you, can you imagine your grandparents are inside still drilling and hustling.
Yeah.
And younger generations like myself, I can say, I feel sad because even for myself, hiring is also a bit hard nowadays in the F&B.
As in hiring youngsters, especially.
Yeah. In F&B, that is why I say get away on all these Gordon Ramsay stuffs and everything, but get into reality.
Yeah.
That's where you got to hustle.
Wow, that is a wonderful lesson. Even from you, Syafiq, it was absolutely brilliant to hear that. And you're right. You're right. You talk about those complaining about it's hot out there and this and that, and like you said, come on guys, right? You just gotta go out there and do it. And it's a wonderful lesson. And you spoke about being your own boss. You're working 24 hours.
Yep.
You're right, because it's not only physically, it's up there. It's mentally.
as
Your
well.
mind is always moving.
Running,
Your
yeah.
mind is always running, racing, right?
Yeah.
Thinking, okay, what stock to get, what's happening,
Yep.
things like that, reservations and what have you. It's absolutely crazy.
Crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, yeah, you talk about the hustle. I think you are a real hustler. And do you have any preferences for any particular cuisine, like in terms of food that you love to eat, not cook, but love to eat? Do you have any preference?
I mean, of course, our local cuisine is one of them.
Yeah.
But out of context, I really love. Not because I studied in French cuisine, but I really love French cuisine.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that part.
Right.
Because it sets the tone to every cuisine that we move forward.
Okay.
Like your basic stocks. From there, you actually enhance
Okay.
certain things too.
Well,
to
what
make
do you
it-
mean by basic stock? Sorry, I'm ignorant.
Okay, okay. Let's say in our local cuisines,
Right.
you're gonna have your chili, garlic,
Okay.
onions.
Okay.
Then you blend it
Right.
together. That's your base.
Ah.
So stock is one of the base, the foundations of
Okay.
every sauces.
Okay.
Every dish.
See, Shasi is learning something new every single day. Nice, right. Now, we move slightly forward a little bit, right? You talk us through this Food Hotel Malaysia Competition. Right? What was this all about, and the stuff that you won?
So, before graduating from the technical diploma program, I wanted to actually achieve something.
Okay.
So, one of my classmates, Andre, his dad was actually the executive chef in Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre.
Okay.
So on that day, we were discussing, hey, why not let's team up and head down to Kuala Lumpur and compete. Surprisingly, Food Hotel Asia is usually, alternate years they will actually be in Singapore
Okay.
and in Malaysia. So during that year, it was actually held in Kuala Lumpur.
So this is an external competition, nothing to do with IT, right?
Nothing to do with IT.
Alright. So you and your friend wanted to.
So
okay.
we had a lot of discussion with the the management team from ITE
Right.
that we wanted to compete because
Okay.
you had to complete your internship.
Okay.
You have to go through all those
Okay.
phases. But then we discussed, we said, yes, we will go through our internship as well
Yeah.
in Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre. At the same time, compete in the competition.
Wow, that's a great experience, right?
Yeah. So we had, of course, a lot of hours that you need to put in, extra hours.
Did you have to pay for this on your own?
So, okay. To be honest, we had a salary
Okay.
Alright.
From where?
from Malaysia.
Okay, okay.
So, can you guess, Sashi, what's our salary
In ringgit.
in ringgit?
Wow. 1,000 ringgit.
We actually got 500 ringgit.
In,
So-
in that time, what was it in Sing? 200.
In Singapore, it's like only $200.
So
a month.
this is like kind of like a intern pay.
Yep. So intern pay.
Intern
So
pay.
we had to pay our own lodgings and of course our own whatever we've been doing there.
Okay.
Okay. But thankfully because my classmate, his dad is
Yeah.
the executive chef. So we had a deal with them.
Okay.
So they will pay our lodgings, our stay there
Okay.
for the whole, I think, 3 months. We were
That
there.
helped. Yes.
So it helps a bit. Then, but that $200 that we had was to actually sustain for 1 month for food and everything. Yeah, our laundries, yeah, groceries.
So basically no life but just work and
Yeah, we did. Actually, we did. We didn't had time to actually go around
Yeah.
exploring KL
okay.
because all those off days were actually plannings, extra trainings,
Right.
and of course going out to see new places. What they actually, because in KL there's a lot of food in the streets.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that's where we had actually a bit of spare time to 1 hour or 2 hours to just go out and eat and come back.
And explore and
Yeah.
yeah. Tell us about the competition. How did it go?
We weren't. I mean, of course, everybody wants to win something.
Yeah.
But we didn't have any expectations because we wanted to just experience it
Right, right.
before we actually graduate.
Okay.
So we trained hard, and thankfully we got a gold medal for the team category.
Okay.
So the team category, you had to cook everything within 1 hour.
Okay.
Appetizers and a main course.
Okay.
So 2 things, but 4 plates each.
Okay.
So totally you got to dish out 8 plates within that 1 hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
But four plates of different dishes or?
Okay. 4 plates of the same dish, which
Ah,
is the
okay.
appetizers.
Right.
Then another 4 plates of main course.
Okay.
Alright. So, but in competitions you got to do it as a fine dining way.
Okay.
A bit of fine dining, a bit here and there.
Understand.
Of course, you got to be a lot of details into it.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Was the dish given beforehand or
No,
you can choose whatever you want?
you got to create your own dish.
Okay, so what did you create? And
So
your friend?
we actually created like scallop mousse with avocado wraps.
Okay.
Then we even did chicken breast.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people
That is for the mains?
for the mains, yeah. A lot of people say, why are you doing chicken breast for main course? Usually people will actually choose premium products,
Okay.
like lobsters or scallops or
Yeah, why, Syafiq?
something. Because I feel that at that point, me and my partner Andre, we chose chicken breast because we feel that chicken breast is one of the hardest poultries to cook.
Okay, please educate me.
I mean,
Why?
okay. How do you cook your chicken breast usually, Sashi? When you go out,
I
it's-
don't cook.
I mean, it's always. I feel it's always overcooked. It's always dry inside. People don't appreciate chicken breast because it's always dry.
Okay.
But if you cook it to the right temperature, to the right doneness,
Okay.
you will enjoy chicken breast.
Okay.
Really.
Okay.
The moisture in it. I feel if you love chicken,
Yeah.
you want the better meats inside. I mean, chicken breast.
I think that's probably why I don't like. I love chicken, right?
Mhm.
That's probably why I don't like chicken breast.
Yeah, a lot of people will go for the thigh,
Right.
right?
So because it's dry.
It's dry. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot of techniques to it.
Right.
So that is why I feel that people can see chicken is just easy to cook, but for me actually one of the hardest to cook is a chicken breast.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm learning something new again. And you got your team, you and your friend Andre, right?
Yep.
You got first place.
We got first place, and
Wow.
after getting that gold medal, we actually won the overall best team as well, because we got the highest mark.
And this is out of how many teams altogether?
I think they had like 18 or 20 teams
From all over the world?
Yeah, we had teams from Taiwan, from Japan,
Wow.
from Malaysia as well, and I think we had one team from Singapore as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it was an exciting journey. You know, I mean, looking at other chefs, how's their creation, and some of them are actually younger than us as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it was also an opportunity to network as well, to get to know people,
Yeah, to get to know people,
to
and
learn.
at the same time being overseas, let's say we were actually interns there as well.
Okay.
So we get to know some of the chefs there. So it was actually exciting. So I mean, the next time when we go to KL, we can just give them a contact. They can just bring us around.
So you made friends, and are you still in contact with some of them
Yeah,
from the
yeah, of
other
course.
countries as well?
We are still in contact, and of course, some of them have actually became like executive chef of certain hotels and everything. So it's good to have contacts because
Yes.
we,
Yes.
us
yes.
Singaporeans, we travel a lot to KL.
True.
So having that, hey, book a room for me, in this
Yes.
certain hotel, I'm coming over. So
Great.
it's good contacts, yeah.
Great, wonderful. It was a wonderful feeling as well to win those the gold award and coming in first place. Did that probably solidify your thinking? Okay, I think this is it. I'm going to be a chef, and this is the right path for me. Did that really made it 100%?
It sets a tone for
Right.
for what I want to actually be in,
Okay.
in future, you see.
Right.
Because academic wise, I've already achieved out of my expectations. In the first place, I was only actually expecting an ITEC certification.
Right.
I didn't expect to actually, at the end of all my studies,
Yeah.
my career as a student, to actually graduate with a technical diploma and at the same time a bachelor's degree as well.
Right.
So it went out
Surpassed
my expectations. Then to the next thing I need to do is to actually surpass my expectations in being a chef.
Right. Which is what? What was your expectation at that time? Right. At that time.
Yeah, at that time I just wanted to work in established restaurant, and start to grow from there.
Yeah.
Look into, of course, being a sous chef, and of course being hopefully the right hand man for one of the chef, and hopefully one day to run your own restaurant.
You know when you speak about this, right? Like making a name first for yourself and stuff like that. How big is reputation? Because it is really big, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, having the right reputation and at the same time building your career as a chef in Singapore is very small. Everyone knows each other.
Okay.
You say you're working from this restaurant. Oh, I know this guy from this restaurant.
Okay.
So they will just automatically say, okay, this guy is good.
Right.
Take him. You won't regret taking him.
Right.
But you do one mistake or two mistakes, that's where the word of mouth will spread among the industry, and people will start to maybe I won't hire you, and
Yeah.
so on. So reputation in the F&B world right now, it's for me, I feel it's number one.
It is make or break, isn't it?
Yeah, it's make or break,
Just one crazy mistake and
Yeah.
you are gone. Wow. Now we move on, right? And obviously you worked at a few places and stuff like that, and I'm sure you made your name and reputation wise. Let's talk about Berks. I think it's a topic that we need to talk about as well, and talking and looking at the video from Facebook, the Royal Singapore, right? It was a very good story, and that's where I picked out the story from. Your story, Syafiq. And firstly, Berks by Project Warung, right? How did that name come about first?
Okay, so actually Berks was started with two of my other partners
Okay.
back then. So one of them was my childhood friend.
Okay.
So I knew him since secondary school.
Okay.
Then my other partner, I knew him when we were working in Terra Tokyo Italian.
Okay.
So coincidentally, we actually met each other again. We wanted to. I pitched to them and said, "Hey guys, want to set up our own company and do something."
So you initiated this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I saw potential in them. So I said, "Hey, let's start." And at that point, the funny thing is, we weren't thinking about burgers.
All right.
We were thinking about doing what we actually learned. Like, we wanted to do French cuisine, but our main priority was to do something halal.
Okay. Right.
So the concept is anything got to do with halal.
Okay.
So we were thinking of doing French cuisine, Italian cuisine, but halal and hawkers. Those were the two concepts that we are
Okay,
looking
so it had to be halal and it had to be
In a hawker
in
centre.
a hawker center,
Yeah.
right?
So
Would it
after
be? Would it be? Now this is a question, right?
Yeah.
Would it be the first halal hawker stall selling French cuisine? Would it be?
yeah,
Would it?
yeah, it will. It will.
I'm just thinking, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you said that, and I'm just thinking, well, that would be the
Yeah.
first, right? But it would be difficult.
Difficult, very difficult, because then after that we had to sit down back again and think through, like, I think because hawkers is a different environment,
Yeah.
it's fast paced, because we went down, we look at how the other stalls are doing, how they are operating, because it's totally different from what we experienced back in restaurants, and the customers that we are facing as well, totally different.
Okay.
So we changed, and we thought, okay, let's come up with something of an everyday food like chicken rice, nasi lemak,
Right.
but in more of a Western context. So we were thinking burgers.
Right.
No one was doing halal burgers in a hawker center.
Okay. Okay.
So we were like what you mentioned, that there's no such thing like, hey, French cuisine halal, no one's doing it in a hawker center. So same thing.
Okay.
We were thinking, hey, no one's doing gourmet halal burgers.
Right.
So we started off Burgs by Project Warung.
Right. And the name itself, Burgs, of course, burgers, right?
Yep.
Project Warung, what was that?
Project Warung, because we wanted, of course, Warung, it's a stall in Malay.
Malay for yeah.
Stall, you see. So it was a project that we are looking at.
Okay. Nice.
So to build a few concepts in stalls,
Okay.
and of course, to categorize it as halal, that is why we came out Warung.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Got
like a Malay word. Yeah.
Just going back to what you guys did, I think it's very important. It's very important, especially for those guys coming up with a business idea, a business plan, or whatever it is. I think do your research, right?
Yeah.
I think like that. That's what you did.
Mm-hmm.
You said that you wanted it to be a French place. Then you did your research, the people that go to your target market and stuff like that, and the place, the location and stuff like that. Do your research, my friends, because Syafiq did and his friends did as well with him, and I think they've done a great job. And did you learn that from the IT as well?
Yeah, we actually
Part of the module,
it
right?
sets the tone for us.
Right.
That is why if you look at the Royal Singapore video,
Yeah.
I'd say IT is not the end.
Right.
It's a beginning for your success.
Right. It's a stepping stone, right?
It's a stepping stone. Yeah.
So, how was there any objections to you starting up a business and
Funny thing is, when we started this business, myself, I was 24
okay,
back then. 24. So that was 4 years ago.
Right.
24. So can you imagine starting off your career early on, after being in the industry for since I was 16 or 17 years old,
okay,
then getting a full-time job
Right.
for already 2 years.
Yeah.
Then after that, telling my parents, I want to quit.
yeah,
I want to start my own business.
yeah,
Those parents out there, can you imagine
Yeah.
at that point, leaving your full-time job and starting your own business at the age of 24, your parents will be like, are you serious?
Yeah.
You sure you want to set up your own business? It's a big risk, and you just started off your career. No. Let's say, touch wood, if it doesn't go out well. So that's where I told my parents, say, we are not looking into that, but let's say if, touch wood, if I don't do well, at least I'm still at the early stage of taking the risk, and at the same time, I still have time for myself to actually go back to the industry and pick up myself again, because we started it early, at the age
Yeah.
of 24. So age is
That's one way to look at it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you're a little bit too young, but if you do fail, touch wood, right? There is,
Yep.
a long way to go as
But-
well to pick yourself
For
up.
me, what I feel, it's at the end of the day, age is just a number.
Right.
So as long as I feel that you are mentally prepared, you have ideas on what you feel that you can succeed on, and
Yeah.
pursue from there, then
Right.
do it.
So what is the difference between being your own boss and working for people? The main differences.
Actually, one of the main reasons why I decided to actually set up or venture out as to be a young entrepreneur, it's because I had tired of working for someone.
Right. And I know of people who think that way as well, you know.
Yeah.
Like you know, I can't
Yeah.
be doing this.
I mean, for myself, it's I would work for someone who appreciates me.
Okay.
So back then, I mean, of course, back in the industry, sometimes politics here and there will be always politics, and of course, the only factor that got me into building my own business is because I feel unappreciated.
Okay.
That was the main factor that got me into wanting to open my own shop.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So then after that, building a team, and from there appreciating the staff,
Okay.
because I feel that that's the lesson I learned
Okay.
along the way, and to build a successful business is appreciating your staff.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Appreciating your staff, and that I'm sure that's what you do.
Yeah.
Right? I think leaders are supposed to be
do, yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
You know, they have to be on the ground as well. I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's only in my opinion, right?
Mhm.
And so you had this business for 2 years.
Yep.
Roughly around 2 years, and you had only 3 of you for the first year or first,
Mhm. Yep.
and then you
So,
employed your employees.
Then that's where we first started. I mean, after 1 year, I think, or maybe 8 months.
Yeah.
That's where we actually got our first employee.
Right.
Yeah, we feel that we are doing well.
Okay.
It's time for us to grow, step
Okay.
back, and hire and hire staff to actually operate for us, because we wanted to grow.
Okay. And this was where was this
So it's
Stop.
situated in, back then it was in Godema Food Center.
Right. Okay.
So, of course, being there for 2 years, subsequently I left
Yeah.
Books.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. So also from the Royal Singapore video that I caught, how was business in terms of the takings, the profits, the revenues? Because it was pretty massive, Syafiq.
I can say, as a young guy, and
24.
24, 25, at that age, to actually generate that kind of money, for ourselves, it was an achievement.
Yeah.
I mean, at a young age, usually we'll be working, having a 2,500 salary,
Yeah.
3,000 salary.
Yes.
But can you imagine having a business suddenly on your own,
Yeah.
and thankfully with all the support that
Yeah,
we
of
had
course.
from our customers,
Yeah.
we generate the revenues.
Yeah.
And looking at that amount, it's like, wow, it's achievable, and that's where we feel that at a young age, okay, what are we gonna do with the money next?
I'll throw
Yeah.
this number at you. 80K in revenue.
Yeah.
Revenue per month.
Yep.
Right? 80K, right? So that I'm not reading it wrongly.
Yeah.
I didn't see something
Yep,
wrongly,
yep.
right? Now that is in revenue. Now after whatever, paying
Mm.
off this and that and whatever,
Yep.
how much did you have per month at that time?
At that time, we were closing at roughly 22%,
Okay.
20%
Of
of whatever we've generating.
Yeah,
You see,
yeah.
so, and that was each month.
yeah, of course.
So you times it, for a few months. That's a big sum of money lah for a young guy like us.
Yeah.
Moving on, that's where we grow. Actually,
Yeah.
I feel that's where we actually grew.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And tell me about your dad's role in all this.
Mm.
I think I caught a little bit about that as well. And you're pretty close to him. So how?
Yeah,
What was his role?
My dad was actually, he was my advisor since day one.
Nice.
He was the one that helped us start off our journey in for Berks when
Yeah.
I started my first venture.
Right.
Then subsequently to my second venture in Ashes as well. He's
Yeah.
still my advisor
Nice.
since day one.
Nice.
And to have him on board in the company without taking any salary.
Really?
Yeah, he's not taking any salary. No, he's already semi-retired.
Yeah.
But can you imagine a semi-retired guy going around, running around, doing deliveries,
Yeah.
carrying all your breads, your stocks, and everything.
He doesn't need to, but he
Yeah,
does.
he does. At the end of the day, he says it's for you, son.
Right.
I want you to be successful. So, for me, that's one of the driving factor that I need to prove as well. You know, I remember I told you that I have a few people that I need to prove as well.
Right.
So one of them is my dad, because he's done a lot in my life.
Yes.
You know, he's been there since day one supporting me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Beautiful. You know, it's wonderful, right? It's a brilliant story, and you talk about the first so-called gourmet burger stall in a hawker center, right? There then came competition,
mhm.
right? There were a couple of competition. Then
Yeah.
after you guys started that out, how was that like?
I feel that it's good that, you know, after setting the tone, we have newcomers coming in
Okay,
having the same concepts.
right.
I feel that it always, you know, like keep us on our toes
Okay,
to think of something new, to create something new, to always think of ideas on how we can actually grow the company.
okay,
You know, having friendly competitions, that is what I feel that will actually improve us as an individual.
nice.
That is what I like about competitions. That's why, you know, back then, before I graduated, wanted to join a competition, but those are all
Yeah.
individual accolades.
Yeah.
Then moving on to having your own company,
Yeah.
that's where I feel that I learn a lot from all these competitors.
It's funny, you know. It's some people hate competition. They
Mhm.
don't like it, but you guys and you yourself, it's great because I think personally as well, having competition, having a competition, it will drive you forward because you can't be complacent, right?
Yeah, I mean, I take examples like, you know, all of us watch football.
Sorry, are you a Man U fan or are you a Man U fan?
Yeah, I'm a Man U fan.
Okay.
We're not gonna go there.
Right. Yes.
I mean, we talk about the rivalries between Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi.
Okay.
They are pushing
Yes.
each other, you know,
Yes.
to their own limits.
You're right.
So that is a very, very good example in terms of how I look into running a business.
Great. I think you're on the right path, my friend, because I think that's the only way to go forward. Now, what happened? Because I think something happened, and you know, what exactly happened?
I mean, you know, to generally to put it this way is, you know, I feel that as time goes by, then, you know, things started to go sour, and I don't like all these kind of relationships between internal staff, basically.
Right.
So I feel that it's time for me to leave. The right time for me to leave.
Now, without being very specific,
Mhm.
right? What was it? Was it politics? Was it backstabbing? What was it?
No, it's just work-wise, basically. I feel that, you know, the longer we go on, I don't feel that we can click.
Okay.
So I feel it's time for me to take a step out and do it on myself, because I love challenges, one
Okay.
thing, and at that point I feel that I have gained whatever knowledge that I feel that I can start out on my own.
Right.
So that is now my current, you know.
So did you go up to
Go.
them and tell them, guys, I'm out?
Yeah, I mean, we all of us have to be professional one way, you see.
Yeah.
So of course I did. Went to them, told them that I'm leaving my role.
Yeah.
Then, of course, at the same time, selling away all the shares and
Right.
everything, because we don't have any conflicts.
Okay.
Of course, at the same time, apologize to whatever wrongdoings that I have
Right.
with them. Clean slate, basically.
How did they take it?
I'm not sure how they take it, but for myself, I don't hold any grudges.
Okay.
Till today, I still apologize, you know, on whatever mistakes that I did.
Are you all on talking terms?
We are not in talking terms, yeah, sadly not in talking terms, but maybe hopefully one day, we never know.
So that answers the previous question that I asked you. How did they take it? And I'm sure they didn't take it
I
well.
mean, personally wise, you know, I not trying to blame them,
Yeah.
or blame anyone for whatever happened in the past, but for me, I feel that it made us, you know, grow into someone
Right.
better, I feel.
Well, what is your message to your friends? whom you lost as a result, and because I think you said that the worst thing about that the Berks project and in business in general is to lose your friends, right? And those guys were your friends, the two guys, and so is there a message that you want to tell them if they are listening? I'm sure they will listen to this podcast with all the sharings going on Facebook and
I mean, of course, in the long run, hopefully we could have a friendly rivalry, like what Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo is doing.
Yeah.
And of course, move on from the past. That's all I can say. And deep down, I still apologize, and I'm sorry for any wrongdoings that I do and I did. But that is where ashes comes, because I know that it's not something I want to prove, but it's something that I want. It's a family, basically, a second family.
As you're saying it, I can feel the pain and the sadness in your face as well, and in your voice. And you said that you apologize for whatever wrongdoings and what have you. Do you think, in your opinion, that you've done something wrong, or is just?
I mean, all of us, I feel that individually we have our own egos,
right?
But sometimes I feel that we just need to put our egos aside. And no matter if, let's say, you're right or you're wrong, just apologize for something that you feel that you want to cherish.
Be the
big man, yeah. And of course, like I mentioned, friends is very hard to find,
You're right.
And I cherish all those moments. So of course, even if I'm right or even if I'm wrong, I'll just apologize. Yeah.
The biggest thing you've learned from this whole episode at Berks, the ups obviously and the downs, the biggest thing, the single thing that you learned most about this project, what was it, if there is anything?
Coming back down to the ground.
Right.
That is what I feel. I learned coming back down to the ground, not as in, in terms of monetary wise or whatsoever, but as a character wise, look at the bigger picture, sit down, look at the staff, the guys, and at the same time, I feel that I've learned a lot of things from there, and being the bigger man, basically. Yeah.
Basically being humble and with feet on the ground, right? I think that's very important. And the two guys, your ex partners, I'm sure you can't mention their names, or you don't want to reveal their names, right? To the two guys, if you are listening into this podcast, I hope you do. Come on, right? Just give Syafiq a call and say hi, and because at the end of the day, we need to move on, and we're all getting old, and live life to the fullest, right?
Just be happy. I feel just be happy.
Right. Now, from a pretty sad place, right, or a low place, let's move on to Ashes Burn It, right? You are the founder of this business, also in a hawker, right?
Yes.
Hawker style gourmet burgers. Ashes Burn It, it's called. Now, tell me why.
Alright, as you can see, Ashes Burn It, we are actually serving charcoal buns.
Right.
So, of course, customer have a choice if, let's say, they don't like the dark version of the buns. We have the lighter version, which is the normal brioche buns.
Right.
Alright, so the whole project that I have in Ashes Burn It is exactly what I set my goal in the first place when I started my first venture.
Okay.
So, I continue back again.
Okay.
From ground zero.
Right.
Started from nothing again.
Right.
Then here we are 1 year later.
Okay.
So thankful for all the supports that we get, and after 1 year of growing.
It's been how long exactly, roughly? 2019.
19. To be exact, the date we officially started Ashes Burn It was back in 16th of September.
Okay.
2019.
So it's slightly more than a year already.
Yes.
Yeah.
And after 1 year, so thankful for all the support. We currently recently just actually launched our third outlet in Bedok South.
Wow, nice. So you have one at Golden Mile?
We have one in the current place where I started my journey.
Okay.
Then the second one is in Alexandra Village Food Center.
Okay.
That's also another hawker center.
Nice.
And at the third outlet, it's in a coffee shop.
Okay.
Yeah,
Where-
under the
where-
block. It's at block 69 Bedok South,
Bedok
Avenue
South.
3. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So you've grown within 1 year from 1 to 3 stalls. That's absolutely brilliant. Now sell Ashes Burn It to me and to the listeners. Ashes Burn It, what do you serve? What is the favorites, the specialities, and what is there?
Of course, the main specialty is the charcoal bun.
Okay.
You know, regularly people don't actually serve charcoal buns
Right.
as your base burgers.
Yeah.
So in Ashes Burn It, our base burgers are the charcoal buns.
Okay.
Of course, the best sellers, not everyone loves mushrooms, but the best seller in our current menu is the truffle mushroom burger.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
And of course, one of our signature is the mac and cheese as well.
Mac and cheese burger, you mean?
We have both.
Oh, right.
So we got the mac and cheese,
Okay.
if you know you are not
Yes.
looking at burgers.
Yes.
And we have the best of both worlds. That's what we call it, the best of both worlds.
That is the name of the.
Yeah, that's the name of the burger,
Nice.
mac and cheese.
Nice. Best of both
Yeah.
worlds.
So that burger is only upon request when, let's say, you go to,
Okay.
because
okay.
we actually remove from the menu
Okay.
and only do it as a special.
Okay.
So if, let's say, you are interested to try the best of both worlds, just drop by and ask the cashier, I want the best of both worlds. Yeah.
Nice. What kind of chicken burgers do you have? That's
We
my
have,
favorite, my friend.
okay, we have the
Sell it to me.
we have the grilled chicken burger if
Okay.
you are looking more of a healthy kind of life.
Right.
And of course we have salads as well.
Okay.
So if you know you don't like fries, you want to change your carbs.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, we have salads to balance out your diet.
Okay.
So you can go for a grilled chicken burger with a salad.
Right.
If not, if you're looking something more of like a spicy, something more oily,
Okay.
you know, go for the fried chicken burger.
Fried chicken burger.
Yes, fried chicken burger. Something like if all of us love McSpicy
Okay.
in McDonald's, but this is our version of McSpicy in Ashes.
I will go for that, my friend. Of all the healthier stuff that you said, I am going for the fried one. It's why not, right?
Yep.
Right. So how has business been? Obviously, we spoke about what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Right. How has that affected the business? Because you only started in November.
Yeah.
Right. And then the pandemic hit roughly around March,
Mhm.
April.
Yeah. So the first 6 months of business wasn't doing so well.
Okay.
I can put it this way.
Okay.
Same thing. Like I started my first venture, didn't take any salary. Wanted to grow the capital.
Okay.
Of course, whatever investments that we put it in, we want to get it back.
Okay.
Is it? So, like what happened in my throughout my life since
Okay.
schooling days,
Yeah.
after being rejected, and a lot of obstacles that I need to go through.
Yeah.
So, firstly, the obstacle that I went through was to actually restart the whole company back again.
Right.
So to rebrand it within 1 month
Right.
and operate the stall again, we had the rents all coming ready, going in. Then start off not pretty good, started off not pretty good. Then moving forward, after a few months, the pandemic hits us.
That was in March.
Yeah, in March, and that's where we only first started to make money,
When the pandemic was on.
when the pandemic was on.
Okay.
So I feel that maybe luck was on our side.
It's ironic, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of business say that during the pandemic, that's where it's affected. But thankfully, I feel that we are in hawker. With a lot of some of the government subsidies that they gave us, and of course we were part of the essential workers as well. So we actually get to operate and
Okay.
didn't had to close down. So I
Yes.
feel that was the turning point for us.
Right.
So that's where I feel that I told my team that we need to build on the reputation from there,
Yeah.
because when I first started off, it was a transition period between Ashes and Bergs.
Correct.
Because when people came to us, it's no longer Bergs, so they wouldn't want to try.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of transition between then, and of course to let people know that I'm no longer in Bergs.
Yeah.
Right now I'm in Ashes.
Right.
Doing a different brand, doing a different kind of style of cooking the burgers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we took 6 months to actually build from there. And surprisingly, thankfully, when the pandemic hits, we actually hit record sales during pandemic. I mean, not only ourselves, but
Yeah.
I actually talked to a few hawkers as well,
Yeah, yeah.
other hawkers. I mean, we are so thankful to all, you know, the people in Singapore
Yeah.
for their support during the pandemic, because without them, I feel we wouldn't be sustaining as well.
This
Yeah.
this is so amazing, right? You know your story, especially you talk about the different points in your life, you know, the
Yeah.
milestones and stuff like that, and then the turning points, right? And
Mhm.
then being rejected, and then suddenly you got back in,
Yeah.
and then this one as well.
Yeah. So I feel very, very like, you know, how I can say, so thankful and lucky, and of course I thank God for that.
Yeah,
Every time I hit an obstacle,
yeah,
there will always be a turning point. So it's like when you hit your lowest point,
yeah.
there will always be a turning point whereby you know that you need to hit that and go it up.
Yeah, go up again.
Yep.
Wow, brilliant. So you said that it has picked up. So anything near 80K now?
uh, we were close. We were close. I said
Yeah?
we were on par on
Wow.
one of the months.
Lovely.
And I was, you know, so happy with my team, and that's where I give them a pat on the back, you know, treat them to a meal, and I say that thanks to you guys, you know,
Yeah.
for sticking through me, because they were with me since day one.
Ah, lovely.
So some of them, they don't even take any salary for the first few months, and,
Okay.
and I was really thankful for them, really. Yeah.
Nice.
And that is one of my responsibility to actually
Yeah.
prove to them as well.
Yeah.
Remember I told you in the first place I got so many people to
Yes,
prove.
yes.
One of them was my staff as well.
Okay.
Yeah, because I need to bring them somewhere. That's my responsibility.
Yeah, you know, I think they've been great as well. You know, like
Yeah.
you said, working without salary for the first few months or so, and then I think they've got a good boss in you, right? And to take care of them, and wonderful, right? That's a great story again. Now, Syafiq, moving forwards, right? Wait, I forgot this. What is this Cleo Bachelor thingy?
I
In
know you're going there.
2019. You won it, right?
Yeah. All right. So the funny story is, now I don't see myself in all these kind of
Yeah.
modeling and everything. So one of the days, Adora, one of the chief editors in the Singapore Press Holding,
Okay.
under the Cleo segment, DM me on Instagram
Okay.
saying that, you know, are you interested in joining this, you know, campaign, and you are chosen to be one of the bachelors? Because at that point, only those who are not married
Yeah.
or engaged can actually join this
Okay.
campaign.
You had a girlfriend then?
At that point, yes.
Okay.
So surprisingly, my girlfriend at that point was the turning, you know, she that was the turning point. I didn't want to join this, you know, competition, because I wasn't like into these kind of things. She said, "Hey, just join. You know, build your reputations from there, your confidence from there,
Okay.
and of course, networking."
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So okay, I decided, okay, let's join. You know, I just, you know, that point I wanted to join, not because of winning, not because of anything, but just connections.
Yeah.
And of course, doing something that you know, I've never done it before,
Right.
uncomfortable, because I've never done modeling.
Yes, yes, yes.
So so that's the first. Yeah, and of course, being put makeup on as well.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
So you pretty much got to thank your okay, right. Are you still a bachelor, or you got married already? I'm sure you have.
So I recently just got married.
Sorry, ladies.
So recently just got married
Okay.
during the pandemic as well.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yep. So a lot of struggles, of course.
Yeah.
Not only ourselves. There's a few couples out there as well that went through the struggles of getting married. And yeah, moving back to Cleo. When I won it, I was shocked, you
Yeah.
know, but it was a learning lesson for me as well. You know, from the chief editors. You know, they did mention one thing that actually hits me right, whereby it's not about being handsome or being good looking or whatever. It's about the character.
Nice.
Yeah. So that is one of the things that got me into. I feel that I didn't regret joining it,
Okay.
and of course at the same time, putting the winnings aside, but the things that I learned from Cleo was the character wise.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got to thank your wife for that. Shout out to her. What's her name, by the way?
Piseska.
Right.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. You've done a great thing there.
Yeah.
Volunteering your husband.
Yeah. And finally, she. Thanks to her that she's my wife now.
Exactly. Right. Now, Syafiq, where do you and Ashes Burn It go from here? What are your plans? Maybe a short-term one and maybe a long-term one.
Of course, the short-term and long-term plan is for us to be a well-known brand right here in Singapore.
Yeah.
Of course, starting off in hawker centres.
Yeah.
We want to be well-known in hawker centres.
Nice.
And at the same time, grooming young entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
In the team as well.
Right.
Shout out to my team. I have guys who are as young as 21, 22
Okay.
in the team.
Yeah.
And of course, we have the older guys guiding the younger guys as well.
Yeah.
So I feel that we have a point to prove.
Yeah.
Or for future generations that through hustling.
Yeah.
No matter what environment you are in, even in a hawker.
Yeah.
You can actually succeed. Yeah, that's the main point of Ashes Burn It.
Lovely. And a very quick one before we go, right? Where are all your stalls again, so that listeners will know exactly where to go? The three stalls, right?
All right. So firstly, we have a stall, I can say central in town,
Okay.
in Godama Food Centre.
Nice.
That's where we are in Kampung Glam or Bugis area.
Okay.
All right. The second and the third is more of a heartland.
Okay.
We are located in the southwest of Singapore for the second outlet, which is in Alexandra Food Centre.
Yeah, that's a good place, by the way.
Yeah, it's just opposite Queensway.
Yes.
So anyone who's going to IKEA or Queensway, you can just
Yes.
visit us.
Yes. Yes.
We are there. And of course, recently we just launched our third outlet in Bedok South.
Okay.
Yes, Block 69, Bedok South Avenue 3.
Nice.
Yep.
Listeners, please patronize Ashes Burn It. I think they've come a long way also as well. And the owner Syafiq Lee support Ashes Burn It. Now, before we go, Syafiq, any advice for people in general, as well as specifically for students and youngsters, from the ITE who's slowly trying to make their way?
Not only for myself, but if you look at all the successful people out there, look at them. I can say to younger generation, look at them at what they have been through,
Yeah.
the struggles they've been through in the first phase, and look at the end goal. So for me, my advice to them is to never give up, in no matter what obstacles that you're facing, because there will always be a turning point.
Yeah.
Just like how I've explained in my story.
Yeah.
There's always a turning point. That's where you hit that turning point, push forward, and hopefully you hit the goals that you want. So never give up in what you do.
Beautiful. Syafiq Lee, thank you so much for being in this Silverfox Hustle podcast. It has been an honor. Thank you so much. It has been a wonderful journey listening to your stories, and I'm sure listeners at home and even the students from IT will thoroughly enjoy this and learn from this as well. And of course, good luck with Ashes Burn It and whatever that comes in the future for you, and hopefully little Syafiq Lee's running around
Yep.
in the
Hopefully
future.
in the future, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sashi, for having me, and hopefully it will be a turning point for anyone out there. Yep.
My pleasure.